Ashley Strohmeyer live for us in New York. Ashley, thank you. Let's bring in criminal defense attorney and federal litigator Vic Bajaj, along with former FBI special agent and Fox News contributor Nicole Parker. Thank you both for coming on. I just want to put the number back on the screen because I think it's significant, Nicole. You've got 79 assaults so far in 2025. You had 10 in 2024, 700% increase. We all know why. Gavin Newsom was wondering why these ICE agents are wearing masks. I mean, they've been doxxed. It's unbelievable. What do you think about this, Nicole?
Well, first of all, part of the attribution is that under the Biden administration, ICE officers weren't actually allowed to do their jobs. They actually weren't enforcing the laws. They were social workers. And so they are back to enforcing the laws and saying, you know what, you are not here legally and we're going to have you deported. And that is why there's obviously the huge spike, because we're seeing in this country that there's certain individuals that do not like enforcement of the law. They want these illegal immigrants to have rights in the United States, more rights than many Americans, frankly. And so it's absolutely disgusting and abhorrent that people that are simply doing their jobs, they are sworn to protect, and now they are being attacked. That is not acceptable. The Trump administration is not going to be okay with this. And again, any network that is, advertising a certain app to go after them and to locate them and dox them, these individuals do need to be held accountable. But again, it's not shocking because look at the riots that have been going on and, wanting these, immigrants to stay in our country. Unacceptable. We got to back the blue. We got to back our ICE agents and all of law enforcement.
We did it on Common Sense last night. Meantime, a refresher on P. Diddy's 5 counts. Put them on the screen. Racketeering, conspiracy, sex trafficking of Cassie Ventura, transportation for prostitution of Ventura and others, sex trafficking of Jane, transportation for prostitution of Jane and others. They've come to a verdict on the bottom 4, Vic. The top one, racketeering. They're still unclear on that. What's going on here?
What's going on is the jury is confused or they're unconvinced. If you have a group of lawyers and you try to describe what a racketeering charge is, you may, amongst 12 people, have 12 different definitions. But generally speaking, a RICO charge requires a jury to say this was a criminal organization, but think of it as a criminal corporation. So rather than just individual businesses, there's a leader of the business that says, this is our platform, this is what we're going to sell, this is how we're going to sell it. This jury has a problem differentiating the allegation of an organized corporate structure versus individual charges and individual pieces of evidence. Some of the assistants testified, and the jury may be grappling with whether these assistants had specific marching orders to commit these acts specifically for sex trafficking.
But coming back quickly on the first or this last 4, I got to go. But it's bad news, you think, for P. Diddy?
It is bad news, and it could get worse because the judge can add on a number of enhancements which were proven by the evidence.
Meantime, Nicole, here's Trump on alligator Alcatraz.
These people come in here, they want to go home, and they want to go home, so we immediately send them home, where it's appropriate. Now, if somebody's a real killer, we don't send them anywhere. We put them in a maximum security.
I mean, it's in your neck of the woods, Nicole. What do you think of this?
I actually think it's brilliant. I know that there are a lot of people. I was just having a discussion with a friend this evening, and she's like, yeah, I know people that were out there protesting, and they're so upset, and all these environmentalists. You know what? This is a space that should be used. It's already there. It's not harming the environment to put them there. And frankly, I've been discussing a number of prison breaks on the news recently. I don't see any possibility of prison breaks when you're surrounded by alligators, pythons, and mosquitoes. It's just outside of Miami-Dade County, Collier County. And I think it's actually very smart, good use of space. And let's do what needs to get done. Let's get beds, and let's get these immigrants back to where they belong, back to their home countries.
I'm out of time. I want to put this up. Fox News writes the following about the University of Idaho murders. Brian Kohberger, as part of the plea, he will apparently not have to explain himself or answer why he committed the crimes. The Gonsalves family, this is Kayla Gonsalves' family, says, quote, this one is from the victims. At a bare minimum, please require a full confession, full accountability, location of the murder weapon, confirmation of the defendants they acted alone, and true facts of what happened that night. We deserve to know is the last line. And they do, Vic. They deserve to know. I've got about 20 seconds for you.
They do deserve to know, and Idaho has a Bill of Rights for victims. What they don't have an obligation to receive are specific details. The elements of the crimes are going to be admitted on the record. They're not entitled to more. They're not going to get that. Of course, that creates emptiness, but That's the state of the law.
And in some states, you can't do that. Some states, you have to notify the family. You have to let them know everything you've learned about the case.
You have to let them know what's going on with the case and potential disposition. In this case, some families say we were properly advised. Some families say we were, but we objected. The prosecution has the final say.
Vic Bajaj, Nicole Parker, thank you both.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.